The Mara River was a place that never slept. From the first light of dawn, the riverbanks were a chaotic symphony of noise. The zebras were always nervously pacing. The gazelles were constantly jumping at every shadow, and the young hippos spent their days splashing and shouting to see who was the strongest. In the middle of all this commotion, everyone was rushing, everyone was reacting, and everyone was loud. But there was one who was different. His name was Babu. Babu was an ancient hippo with skin that looked like weathered stone. While the younger animals chased each other and the crocodiles snapped at every passing fly, Babu did something very few ever did. He stayed still. He would sit in the shallow water for hours, with only his calm eyes and small ears visible above the surface. He wasn't lazy. He was listening. He was watching the way the reeds bent in the wind. He was feeling the temperature of the water on his thick skin. Babu believed that the world speaks to those who are quiet enough to hear it. He believed that wisdom didn't come from the strength of your splash, but from the depth of your silence. One afternoon, the air grew heavy and yellow. A strange, eerie silence fell over the savannah. But it wasn't the peaceful kind. It was the kind of silence that happens right before a disaster. Suddenly, a terrifying sound echoed from the distant mountains. Flash! Flood! The water, usually blue and slow, turned into a brown, roaring monster. It began to rise rapidly, swallowing the riverbanks. Panic spread like wildfire. The monkeys shrieked and scrambled to the highest branches, but the branches were thin and began to snap. The wildebeests began to gallop blindly in circles, splashing into deep holes and getting stuck. The younger hippos tried to swim against the current, wasting all their energy, gasping for air as the muddy water pushed them back. Run! Hide! Fight! The animals screamed to one another. But high up in the deepest part of the bend, Babu remained still. He didn't panic. He didn't roar. He kept his eyes fixed on a specific rock near the shore and felt the vibration of the water against his chest. He was studying the rhythm of the flood. He knew something the others didn't. Not every storm is meant to be fought. Some are meant to be navigated. As a group of panicked young zebras was about to jump into a part of the river where the current was deadliest, Babu's deep, resonant voice broke through the thunder. It wasn't a scream. It was a calm, steady vibration that seemed to settle the air. "Stop," Babu said. "Do not fight the center. Follow the curve of the reeds. Move slowly toward the large acacia. The water is shallow there." The zebras, caught by his calmness, stopped their frantic jumping. They looked at Babu's steady eyes and felt their own hearts slow down. They followed his direction, moving with the current instead of against it, one by one. Guided by Babu's quiet instructions, the animals found the high ground. When the sun finally broke through the clouds the next morning, the river had returned to its bed. The forest was damp and quiet. The animals emerged from the trees, exhausted, shaken, and confused. They looked at the debris and the changed landscape. The young hippos approached Babu, who was back in his usual spot, half submerged in the cooling mud. "Babu?" they asked, their voices soft with respect. "How did you see the path when everything was brown and loud? How did you know where the land was hiding?" Babu opened his large, wise eyes and replied, Wisdom is not about having the loudest roar or the fastest legs. Wisdom is the patience to wait for the mud to settle so the water becomes clear. He looked at the young ones and continued, "When the world rushes, your vision blurs. When you stay still, the truth reveals itself. Not every problem needs speed. Some problems need clarity." The lesson of the silent guardian spread across the plains. The animals began to learn a new way of living. They learned to pause before they leaped. They learned to breathe before they barked. They learned that being the fastest didn't make you the leader, being the calmness did. And every day, amidst the noise of the Mara River, Babu remained a steady anchor. He taught the world that in a noisy, rushing world, the greatest power belongs to those who have the discipline to stay calm, the heart to listen, and the wisdom to wait. True wisdom isn't about outrunning the storm. It's about finding the peace within yourself to see the way through it.